All right. So yesterday we left off asking the question, hey, we can place static meshes and materials into our world, but how do we get more of them, right? We had a pretty limited number of those static meshes and materials and other assets in our tutorial world. All we really had in our content browser was the starter content from the tutorial. So how do we get more of these things? To address this problem, we use something called the Unreal Marketplace, which is where creators put all of their content and game developers acquire the content. So today what we're going to do is navigate to the marketplace, explore what it looks like in the options and how to purchase these assets, add the assets to the project, and then decorate our beach world with the new content that we have. So this is what the Unreal Marketplace looks like. And as you can see, there are different prices associated with each thing, but there are a lot of free resources too that I used in my own project and that you can use in yours. So this is located within the Epic Games launcher, and it's just a place for creators and game developers to act in a marketplace and sell and buy from each other. And there's a lot of different things. It's not limited to static meshes or materials. There's music, sound effects, worlds, landscapes, and a whole bunch of other things. So how to use Unreal Marketplace? It's pretty simple. You go to the Epic Games launcher, which sounds weird because it's the same place like Fortnite and Rocket League is. But if you go there and you click on the left-hand side, you will see. I'll actually do it right now with you guys. Exit out of this. Navigate to the Epic Games launcher, and then right here you'll see Unreal Engine. You click on that. You click on Marketplace. Now you're in the marketplace. So now that you're here, how do you find free content for your project? You can go to free right here. They make it really easy, and you can search by a whole bunch of different tags, or let's search for plants for our beach. And this will come up and it will remove the free filter. So what you do is you hit right here on the right-hand side of your screen, free. And now we have a whole bunch of free things. So to add something to your project, first you have to buy it. So we'll choose this one for tropical vegetation since it's a beach, and we'll add it to the cart. Now you go to the cart, and you can see that I selected a few other things that we can play around with today when we're adding to our world. And you can say checkout. If the items that you're buying are free, there's no need for a credit card or anything like that. So after you go to your cart, you can place your order, and this will send it right to your Unreal Engine account. So now I can go into Unreal Engine, and the next step to add that content to my project is going to Library and down to the Vault. And now you can see here's all of the new stuff I have, right? I just bought the tropical vegetation, water materials, realistic forest, and there's one more, nature package. So let's add tropical vegetation. We'll add this to a project, and it'll ask you what project you want to add it to. So here we have our YTAC tutorial, and we'll add it to this one. It'll take a second. You can see here it's uploading into the project. And then once that's all done, you'll be able to manage all of the assets in your content browser in the project. So right now, once this downloads, we'll go in and start putting some stuff in. And while we're here, why don't we add water materials and a few other too, just for practice. Oh, that paused. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in or say anything in the chat. Check the chat. Oh, that one's long. No, we won't do that. All right, so now that we have two of ours in, water materials and tropical vegetation, we'll go to the project to mess around with those. So open the tutorial world. Take a second to load. I would have had it preloaded, but every time you add an asset pack to your project, you have to restart it for it to pop up. So all right, now we're good. So as you can see, here are our pretty basic resources from yesterday, our static meshes. We had the couch and everything. And you'll see that now when we go to content, there will be a whole new folder. We have tropical ground plants. So let's go to meshes, and we have our tropical plants here. So we can drag these directly onto our world, which is really cool, right from our content browser. So there's one. That looks okay. There we go. The mesh loaded in. It looked a little bit weird. And we can edit this just like we edited any of our other materials yesterday, how we were editing the static mesh with regards to size or rotation. So let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, maybe a little bit too big. I didn't mean to type 20. So that looks better. And we'll put it right in front of our house too. And next, we can mess around with some of the content from the water materials. I've actually never used this pack, so it might be a little bit trial and error, but we can go to materials, and there's a whole bunch of different water. Rapids, river, clean, cheaper. Drag that on. That doesn't look so nice. It's compiling shaders. It might crash my computer. Here's sand. Oh, actually, that looks really nice. So you see this thing that looks like pretty complicated, right? Like yesterday we just had a flat plane and it was all white and checkerboard. And by going to the marketplace and getting this water pack, we're able to make our world look really nice. Like to do this manually would have taken a good amount of time. But now we have a nice beach. The water does look a little bit light, but clean water. That might be why we have clean water. Water opaque. It looks really similar to what we just had. It still looks nice. So yeah, so you can use textures in the different meshes to get more materials. If we go back to our content, you can also see that there are different assets like blueprints and maps that can be made right from the marketplace. So you don't have to create every single little thing in your world by yourself, right? It's just like in programming. A lot of times people use packages and libraries, right? You don't want to have to program everything by yourself. Sometimes it's easier to use resources that people have already programmed to build what you really have in mind. The same thing is true in game development and Unreal Engine. The one thing that I will say about this competition using the marketplace is if you decide to spend money on assets, you will have to disclose it during the competition. But besides that, there are a lot of free ones that you can use, so nobody should have to pay to participate in this at all. So we can replicate that and make everything look really nice. So let's go into our world and see what it looks like. There we have our beach, our new water. It looks really nice. I haven't figured out how to get the door open yet, but that's okay because we're not on blueprints yet. So here's the front of our house. We'll go in. There's a couch. You can see the granite, statues, different static meshes, and we can really start to build from here with the marketplace and expand what we have in our world. Does anybody have any questions? For those of you who've already started to use the Unreal Engine, have you guys already been using the marketplace?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
I've used the marketplace, yeah. My camera froze. I mean, my phone died, which is my cam. So, but yeah, I've used the marketplace already.
I tried using it, but they don't really have assets for 2D, and all the 2D ones are like $100 for everything.
Yeah, there's some really expensive ones. Music is actually a really notorious category for not having anything free. I think I checked with somebody yesterday, and I remember doing it on my own project, but there's only 2 free music packs. It was like fantasy and something else. So there are certain categories where you'll struggle more in, but for the most part, you'll be able to find a lot of free content to carry your game on the marketplace.
I've been working on more of the inside of my game, really, like the animation and stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah.